YouTube looks good. Yep, YouTube is good. So we are live and on the air. Welcome everyone to the Foolish Tech Show. It is a Friday evening, and we are here mainly to provide you with support and answer any questions about our products and services. If you have any of those, feel free to jump over to foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live, and we have a couple of ways that you can join our IRC chat and talk with us directly, and we'll be more than happy to interrupt whatever we may be rambling on about, because otherwise we will be filling the dead air with random tech news and links and just things of the day. So please, if you do have any questions or concerns or want any demos or anything like that, feel free to interrupt us anytime. More than happy to stop and focus on that instead. But otherwise, I guess let's go ahead and get this day going. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Excellent.
Been better.
Yeah, me too. On that, with what they're dealing with there. But otherwise, Phoenix, if you want to just post all of the links you have, I'll hold off for a second because I do have a couple for today, but not the stockpile that I had previously. But that was a big one. That first one you posted there was probably the biggest news of today. There's a new technique that uses hard drive noise to steal data from air-gapped systems. So as long as they can hear your hard drive, they can get the data off of it. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, they'd use like processor noises already and various things like that. Like, and that stuff's like hard because you can't just encase your hard drive in soundproofing because your hard drive will overheat. So it's like, how do you have to like case your entire room in soundproofing to get around that, and then hope that you don't have a bug having been snuck in and planted in your room.
So I guess SSDs are not only good for performance, but good for security.
Possibly, yeah. I'm sure they make some noise or give off some electromagnetism or something, so I'm sure they're not that far behind. I didn't read the full article. It kind of just came up today while I was glancing around at things, and yeah, it just seems like I know they've done other things with air-gapped computers where they can be on the other side of a wall and have a microphone set up that will actually be able to hear that computer in the hotel room next door and be able to extract data from it. So it's pretty insane. Not connected to the internet, not connected to anything, just running like a normal computer would. So nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe.
Wonder if you had multiple hard drives, if it would interfere, if they'd be able to tell the difference.
That would be interesting. I would imagine they have unique sounds. Like I wouldn't see why they wouldn't kind of have unique sounds. Maybe if you had like the exact same, even having the exact same one, I would imagine creates a slightly different kind of fingerprintable pattern, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably.
But I haven't looked into it because I know that's way out of the league of what I want to look into. So just good to be aware.
You're not going to do that this weekend and report back on Monday?
Negative. Yeah, so that's good to be aware of, but again, those are the kind of things that, like, if you're using an air-gapped computer already, then you know you have to be aware of some things, and you have some pretty bad people after you already. So I just being careful and keeping those things in mind to take those into even further consideration. It kind of reminds me, I read an article about a place that you can get away with murder in the U.S. Did you know that?
Awesome.
There was actually a book about it too. So it's a lawyer that focuses on. Let me see if I can find the link for it exactly, but it's a lawyer that focuses on trying to find loopholes in jurisdiction laws, and he ended up finding a loophole that Yellowstone National Park is granted complete federal jurisdiction to Wyoming, and Yellowstone falls into Idaho and into Idaho. Or no, it falls into 3 states, Idaho and the other one. I forget which one it is. But anyway, the plot of land that's there is about 50 square miles in Idaho. It's extremely remote. There's not even roads to get there. But if you committed a crime and got arrested there, then you would be required by some constitution or law or something like that to be tried by a jury of your peers in the state that you committed the murder in. So not the jurisdiction that you committed the murder in, but the state that you committed the murder in. So if you're in Idaho and Wyoming has federal jurisdiction over that portion of Idaho because it's federal land, then there's no way that they could try you by a jury of your peers because A, it's a completely remote 50 square miles, and B, it's in a different state, so they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. He alerted a whole bunch of government officials, and none of them seemed to care, and then published a paper about it, and then wrote a book about it, and the book apparently sells extremely well in Yellowstone National Park.
Interesting.
I thought that was an interesting story.
It's how you can murder people right here. You should sell that with like tools, equipment,
Yeah.
Murder people.
Yeah, here we go. I got it. It's a Vice article. It's a pretty interesting read if you want to check it out there. That's all the links you have, Phoenix? Come on, man. I thought you were going to have more. Hey, Christopher joined us. Welcome, Christopher. We got the Tech crew. Glenn's here. Mike Invise may or may not be here. And hey, Rover Desk, I saw you posted in there as well. And Chook, if you're there or not, hey, how's it going? So yeah, let's see what else Phoenix posted here. Yep, that was something else I had noticed yesterday right after the show. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I wish I had posted that. But now there is a vulnerability found in almost all Volkswagens with their key fob that you can unlock any Volkswagen pretty much on the market right now. And it's a fairly simple wireless hack there, so I'll go ahead and repost that link just in case anybody that joined us recently didn't see it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting, and that is the kind of stuff I'm interested in and is possible to do. So actually over the weekend before last, or this past weekend, I spent a lot of time trying to do some remote hacking with a wireless garage door opener, and was trying to do replay attacks on it, but apparently it had a rolling code, and I'm not to the point where I can decipher WAV files yet. So looks like he posted another link that Linux has a TCP flaw that allows hackers to hijack internet traffic and inject malware remotely. So
neat.
hopefully they come out with a patch for that fairly quickly, as they're usually pretty good at. Microsoft leaked backdoor keys to bypass UEFI secure boot. Oh man, that would be nice if I can actually use my other stuff for other OSs now. Like my oh no, my Dell laptop or my Lenovo portable I can do Linux on. I did figure that out. It was just the OS I was trying, but still, if you think secure boot is protecting you, probably not. Posted another one that the Kick-Ass Torrent crew, which recently got the main guy got arrested and the domains and stuff got seized. They're apparently asking for donations to build the site. It was a pretty good torrent site, but there's a lot of other ones out there, and you know, people that torrent a lot of stuff probably aren't the ones that are going to pay donations. It's just guessing, I guess. But what else we got? Rights Corp threatens every ISP in the United States. Wonder what that's about. Let's see if we pull up that link here. Following court win by its client BMG over Cox Communication, Rights Corp has sued everyone, and 5-year trove of infringement data against internet users. ISPs can either cooperate or face consequences. Looks like federal courts in Virginia ruled Cox Communication was liable for copyright infringements carried out by its customers. Oh snap! That is a terrible precedent.
Extremely.
Geez. Hopefully that gets appealed and overturned.
I would sure hope so. I mean, that's like holding the hardware store liable for selling somebody a hammer they used to kill somebody.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, you sell knives here? Well then. But no, we don't need any gun regulations. No, keep that out of it.
Oh, we had those.
Not to the point where if a gun store had sold somebody a gun which was then used for violent crime, that the gun store would be held responsible.
No, we don't.
They've gone after manufacturers for it,
but nothing ever came of it, right?
Not that I know of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say. I haven't kept up with it that much.
I don't believe they have. It's possible, but I don't believe anyone's ever been like, hey, you make a gun and this is what
I mean, at the same time, somebody gets in a car wreck and kills somebody. Is it the car dealership's fault?
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. All of these things.
I think it should be the state's fault for licensing the driver. Or the insurance. Well, I guess they pay for it anyway.
Oh, Cherie posted, sorry, I was looking at all of Phoenix's links and I just scrolled down to check what was going on in the chat. But Cherie posted a link here for a tool that she said would be great to add to D7, D7.2 repair tasks. Has a client that his workstation upgraded to Windows 10 and he needed to downgrade back to Windows 7 because of specialized accounting software that will not run if you upgrade to Windows 10. Found out that the scheduled tasks were all corrupt and this software worked great to fix and restore all the tasks perfectly. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen a program that fixes tasks. That's cool. Thanks, Sheree. I will get that on our list here after I get a chance to test it out. Actually, we're going to put that on our main screen here. So. Yeah, we'll look at that and see. Like I said, that's really cool. I'd never heard of a program that scanned and fixed scheduled tasks. That's pretty interesting, actually.
What I couldn't tell is the program only useful if you're reverting from Windows 10.
Let's
The
see.
only thing it talks about really in the article. I wasn't sure if it does other stuff as well.
Yeah, it does say on their page that it's dealing with a downgrade. They do have a walkthrough for the full story. Oh, no, that's just how to do the fix. Interesting. Yeah, I want to test it out a little bit and play around with it so we can see how to best set it up. So we'll see what it can do. That is very cool and helpful. Thank you again, Sri. So AdBlock Plus has gotten around Facebook's blocking ad blockers. So say that 5 times fast.
No.
Thousands of accounts leaked from a anti-doping site. What's an anti-doping site?
I'm not sure.
World Anti-Doping Agency. What the heck is doping?
My first thought is using drugs, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if their frequently asked questions has a anti-doping testing. Yeah, I guess it's just drug stuff, but really? Is that like a... I don't know. That just sounds weird. Anyway.
Can't even really find a good definition.
No. So the next Linux 4.9 kernel will be the long-term support kernel.
Anti-doping is apparently the fight against drugs in sports.
Mm.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't see why they call it doping though. That's just weird.
Say no to
Because it's dope. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought it applied specifically to marijuana. Are we upset about sports people getting high?
Well, I mean, doping used to mean cocaine and things, and mostly said dope, I guess, back in the 80s and 90s.
And in sporting events, it would probably refer mainly to steroid usage.
One would think.
Are you doped up on steroids? Yeah, I guess that's a saying, actually.
I'm just saying that's dope. Like it's good.
Yeah. Interesting. Language is weird. I don't really care about HP leaking details on Intel, whatever. Michael's not here, so we don't have to talk about that. Oracle is targeting business-to-business marketers with a trove of audience data. Interesting. Smart mirrors are already happening. I don't know where that article came from. You can make a smart mirror with a Raspberry Pi right now.
Yeah, I've been meaning to make one of those.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you made one?
No. I have no reason for a mirror or one that's smart. Like, especially one that's smart. Are you sure you don't need to upgrade me to a bigger mirror? Can't quite see all of you this day. Maybe you should go for a jog and come back. Jeez, mirror, shut up.
Smart ass mirror.
Yeah. Leave me alone. It's hereditary. Let's see, what else we got? Shade Ransomware adds RAT features to spy on high-value victims. That's pretty interesting. I guess I can give you an update on the new beta feature of Crypto Prevent. So the Tesla crypt, we saw it, blocked it perfectly. Phoenix had provided me a couple other samples he was interested in. One of them that I've been basically heavily testing with so far has been Holy Crypt, and that one, it does its encryption stuff pretty fast, and that's what I've been working on, is trying to get the timing so that I can kill processes and display a message to the user. So I've got it, and it's really difficult to test this kind of stuff because basically I have to make a small change and then try it out. And to do that, I have to do what we did before: start up a virtual machine, copy over the new service, make sure it's running, then make sure my network's disconnected, then run the virus, and then see how far it gets in encrypting files. And I am doing fairly well. My testing on the ones that I have, which are all fairly small documents and things, ends up getting about 5 to 10 documents encrypted, and then it ends up killing it. So that's not bad, and that's what it kind of says on the feature, is that it tries to stop it as soon as possible. So I still think there's some speed up options, and I'm going to continue working on it to the point where I feel like the speed and everything is there as good as possible, and then clean up the interface a little bit, and then we'll have it released so that everybody can assist out with this testing. But I don't want to release a beta version of a feature that I'm just going to continuously change over and over and over again, which is what I've been doing all week. It's almost been completely rewritten 3 or 4 times. Everything that I have there. So it is going good though. Like I said, I can get it to where it stops about 5 or 10, or at 5 or 10 files being encrypted, which is much better than all of your files being encrypted. So it's not bad, but still got a little ways to go and work on before we do a full release on that. So just throw out a update on that. So I thought this was a pretty cool link. Apparently you can download and print out your own topographical maps from National Geographic. Pretty cool. And most of the park ranger offices probably have some for you as well if you wanted to just go up to them, but you can get them for free in PDF form here if you want. That's nice of National Geographic. Let's see what other news we got here. I do have some things stockpiled, so let's see what we got here. Has anyone ever heard of Bossaball? The description there does look like it is probably one of the coolest sports that I've never heard of. Essentially, it kind of looks like a mix between volleyball, soccer, and those bouncy playhouses. So if you can picture that, that's what Bossaball looks like, and it looks pretty awesome. Looks like it would be pretty fun to play. You don't have all the sand problems that you have with volleyball. You get to play on a bouncy house style thing. Yeah, it's all good.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see how that game would be too bad. Yep, we did the hard drive thing. Let's see what else this one is. Oh, I thought this was a pretty interesting map here. So, and we had talked about with actually a lot of times when I talk with Brytech, he comments on how large the U.S. is compared to Great Britain, and this map kind of shows you that. It's like we almost got all of Europe in our country. That's pretty cool, I thought. So they put a whole bunch of countries inside of the U.S., and so you can see how big the U.S. really is. It's pretty neat to know that kind of stuff. It's nice for comparisons, I think. I thought this was a pretty nice little simple article from oh, I didn't actually post that link. Sorry, let me post that link. There you go. I thought this was a nice little article from Malwarebytes, College Cybersecurity Survival Guide. They just mention a few things, but then at the bottom they kind of go over your the main things you should probably tell everyone. So if you want a good list of things that you should be almost handing out on pamphlets to every computer you fix, that would probably be a good one. Back up your files, change your passwords, beware of malvertising, avoid current or P2P sites and unauthorized downloads, don't stay logged into websites, watch out for phishing attempts, install your own router in your dorm. That probably might be reaching against the campus security stuff, but you'd have to talk with them, like it says, if it's allowed. And have a strong security toolkit, which that is basically just the advertisement for Malwarebytes. So I would probably also add on there to the change your passwords to use a secure password manager like KeePass or something to that effect. So No Man's Sky came out today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and here's an article to know how to best get started there. I'm kind of excited for the workday to be over so I can check it out here. But it looks like a fun game, and I'm very excited about it. And if you want to know more about it, check that out. That'll kind of tell you what you're looking into. I thought this was a pretty cool article too. Basically, they're using virtual reality to help paralyzed patients walk again. Excellent way to use virtual reality, and very cool that they're going forward with that. I didn't read the whole article to see if it actually helped people like fix themselves walking, but it is nice to know that now you're not confined to a chair. You can do some virtual reality and at least get a little bit of something back, but if not everything. I thought this was really cool. So this is a video of BMX bikers just popping up out of fields doing awesome tricks. So like you just see this field nice and pretty there, and then all of a sudden this bike pops up out of nowhere and does an awesome trick and then goes back into non-existence or out of sight. See what else we got here. Oh, this was really cool. I had never tried to steal a Rolls-Royce hood ornament, but apparently they have anti-tampering features where if you even act like you're about to steal it, it will automatically disappear and hide itself. I thought that was pretty awesome. I have seen a lot of hood ornaments get lost that way. So, talked about the wireless hack that can unlock almost all those things. Oh, this was a good article. So all those great new, completely aggravating security chip readers for our credit cards and debit cards, turns out they're not that secure after all. So great job, industry. Not only did you fail at rolling that feature out, but you also fail at implementing it as a secure feature.
Why is it not secure?
I read a long time ago that it was hacked before it was ever even available in the U.S.
Well, this one is
or somewhere.
this hack. I believe it has to do with you have to hack the ATM machine and do something else. I forget exactly what it was.
So it does require a little bit more work than.
Yeah, like you actually, I mean, taking control of an ATM machine isn't that easy. It's not going to be as easy as people just putting a skimmer on the card. Like they actually have to take control of the machine itself. So, I mean, that makes complete sense. If you put your card into a hacked machine, it can send your money and property and data and it has everything. So, possible, but probably not going to become as popular as skimmers are. So maybe the chips will at least help cut down on that. Oh no, Quark, thanks. I did not get a chance to see the new Rogue One trailer. I knew they were saying it was, I think it came out yesterday, I guess. Or possibly today, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. Let me see if we can check that out over here. How long is this? 2 minutes? All right. Everyone, entertain yourself for 2 minutes. We'll check this new trailer out and talk about it here.
Wow. Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. Oh, it looks pretty right off the bat. Oh, that guy's in it? I'm not excited about that.
The world is coming on. First star, Death Star. Oh, so this is how they got the plans.
That's cool.
Oh wait, no. All right, only halfway through it and I'm already confused. So the Empire rebuilt the Death Star again? Isn't this, is this way before? This is way after.
This was before A New Hope, isn't it?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
I thought it was supposed to be before A New Hope.
Isn't that the same
Hope
girl?
Was the first Death Star. I wasn't paying that much attention.
I thought that was the same girl from the first one, or the last one.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
No.
Man, if they're gonna start coming out with movies all jumbled up, that doesn't make any sense. Like, come on, Star Wars had a flow. You did 3 in a row that were linear.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're gonna start jumping around. It's not. But yeah, then it does look like the first Death Star, but that's not the guy that blew up Alderaan. So I don't know.
Darth Vader probably kills him.
I kind of am getting that like Apocalypse Now feeling from it too. Like they're like, man, we're about to make a new Star Wars movie, and I just watched this great movie, Apocalypse Now. I think we're gonna do it like that. Apocalypse Now with lasers. That's gonna be nice. Fast and the Furious didn't have a flow though, and Fast and the Furious was awesome. Like, no, Fast and the Furious. Each thing was one right after the other. They were in order for Fast and the Furious. Because characters you met in the previous one ended up in the next one. I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since I watched all 6 of them. Maybe the Hong Kong one was out of place.
Every time I see one of those, I'm not sure which one I'm watching.
Yeah. But so the Hong Kong one was the first one to really split off from that. And then in the next one, the guy from Hong Kong died. And then he wasn't in the one after that. And then, like, I'm pretty sure those are in order. Yeah, Rogue One doesn't look as good as yeah, Tokyo, Hong Kong. You know what I meant. I'm not. I don't think Rogue One looks as good as the Force Awakens so far. And honestly, the Force Awakens wasn't as good as the first 4, or the first original 3. There we go. Now I'm curious about the Fast and the Furious timeline. Let's see. You're right, Glenn. Fast and the Furious 6 takes place after Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. So the 3rd film takes place after the 6th film. They got a whole synopsis timeline thing here if you want to check that out. I always looked at them as individual movies, and I liked each one of them. So even the latest one.
I couldn't sit through the first one or any of them, or I don't even know which one it was, honestly.
I've
Really?
never seen any of them.
Yeah, but see, I've always liked Need for Speed, the video game.
Oh, I like that.
That was my favorite game. We used to take that to LAN parties all the time. I even got the force feedback steering wheel. Don't tell me that's not a good game. But
I
that's
love
what
Need
we
for
used to do with
Speed.
Fast and the
I don't
Furious.
see how you don't like the Fast and the Furious is just Need for Speed in a movie.
With like
They
all
made a
the
Need for Speed.
ghetto car mods
Pretty
and
good.
stuff.
It's no fun if you don't get to drive.
That's that does play a part in it.
I think the cars look dumb, and the storyline is dumb.
Hmm.
But then again, I'm kind of dumb, so.
I don't know. I thought it was like Vin Diesel's probably greatest role, and that other guy, that was probably his greatest role as well. So, they were like made for that role and perfectly paired for it. And then the other characters just were good enough because those two were good enough. So hey, did y'all know that Green Day is still making albums? They just came out with a new song, Bang Bang, and apparently they're going to have a new album released this year that is politically charged.
Oh yeah, another politically charged album. Hey, are they still calling themselves punk also?
Possibly. They have the same style, so I don't see why they would have changed it.
Okay, but it wasn't ever punk to begin with.
Not what you would call real punk, but it is a pop punk, I feel. So
pop. Just stop right there.
No, pop is its own.
Pop is not as pop stands for popular music, and it's basically everything plays on the radio in heavy rotation. That's pop. It really annoys the girls, Jade's daughter, when I call her alternative or what pop. You know, it's like it was alternative before it was popular. Now it's not it's pop.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
The alternatives are now heavy metal and rock and roll. That's alternative.
Well, no, it's still heavy metal and rock and roll.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's alternative to pop. I'm just saying. It is bad to put that word with that, but.
Well, I mean, like, if you're saying that, it's like any music is pop. Like, absolutely.
Not at all.
No, absolutely anything that's popular is pop. And
yeah, that's popular. Yes.
If you listen to music, any form other than going to a local band.
But it's not really a genre, like a category. It's just the way to say it's what the kids listen to.
Well, I feel pop is the.
I mean, the Beatles were pop at one point. I mean, do you think the Beatles are pop?
No, I feel like the pop
like
is
Glenn.
a specific one. There's like a whatchamacallit,
that was a good candy bar.
It was.
Pop has like a oh god, I forget what it's called now. A formula to their songs, like
4/4 time. Yeah, that's in all pop.
No, it's not just that. It's like they have like certain things about the song that makes it pop. The timing, the riff, the bass lines, the lyrics, the way that they arrange the choruses,
like bridge, chorus, whatever, something bridge, chorus. Yeah, I mean, but that's in all pop.
The topics they talk about are like that all ends up in pop.
Still, you can call all popular music pop because you're not saying anything that there's no deviation from pop. There is. I agree with you.
Because I mean, but that basically makes it so that the only thing that's not pop is a local band that no one's heard of.
No, not at all. I mean, I listen to major bands that aren't pop.
Those are popular. You wouldn't have heard of them if they weren't popular.
But they're not because they don't have radio play.
If they got a record deal, they're popular.
Wikipedia says the terms popular music and pop music are often used interchangeably, although the former describes all music that is popular and can include any style, which would also say that pop music does not mean all popular music. And pop music is eclectic and often borrows elements from other styles such as urban, dance, rock, Latin, and country. Nonetheless, there are core elements that define pop music. Identifying factors include generally short to medium length songs written in a basic format, often the verse-chorus structure, as well as the common employment of repeated choruses, melodic tunes, and hooks.
Smells like pop. But anyone can write Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, moving on to hopefully a less argumentative topic. Rocco's Modern Life is coming back for a special hour show. I don't know if y'all were in that Nickelodeon time when Rocco's Modern Life was on, but
I was.
I really liked that show.
I have no idea what it is.
I have no
I'm
idea.
excited about it.
But I'm younger than you guys.
It's about
Then go listen to your pop music.
I will. I'll just ask Alexa to play it for me.
Alexa, play me some pop.
Rocco is a kangaroo who is friends with a cow, and this is their life, and it's interesting. It's definitely a 90s era Nickelodeon cartoon that's just like the Ren and Stimpy style. Like it's that same kind, but without the graphicness of Ren and Stimpy. I feel like it's almost like it is Ren and Stimpy, but without the graphicness and more subtleties, I guess. So yeah, I like it, Future Tech Eric. I have watched it. I'm extremely excited about it. They're going to be going camping for their hour special, I believe.
I was delighted to see a new Shaun the Sheep series with some different animals from Amazon original, and they only have one episode from 2015, and I was upset.
For what?
Shaun the Sheep.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh my goodness. You better get on it. Shaun the Sheep, yes. Just look it up. You'll love it. It's like Wallace and Gromit. But
I'm not a big fan of Wallace and Gromit.
I'm not either. I love Shaun the Sheep.
I believe I've seen that character at least. I don't know if I've seen the show actually. Interesting. I'll check it out. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this was awesome. This was super awesome. So Hunter S. Thompson casually having a gunfight with his neighbor. How awesome is that? And he's like, this is what America is all about. Screw you and your cows. Pop, pop, pop. I think at the end of it, he says something like, if you're going to be in a democracy, you got to play the part. And he's literally having a gunfight with his neighbor. It's a short one, so I thought it was entertaining. I thought this was pretty cool too. They've dated this shark, the Greenland shark, to be possibly able to live, they guess, anywhere from 272 to 512 years, with a best guess of about 392 years. And they had pointed out some interesting things there. That let's see, where was it? So where did they talk about that? I want to get right what I was saying there. Oh, maybe it wasn't in this article. Anyway, I'd read something along the lines of like when the Columbus was sailing over to discover America, those sharks would have been like 100 years old already. So yeah. Oh yeah, here at the very top of the article. 1620, the Mayflower set off from Plymouth carrying hopeful pilgrims to the New World. passed over the deep, cold waters where baby Greenland sharks were just starting out their lives. The youngsters slowly grew into giants, and some of them are probably still alive today if their estimates are right. What was interesting about it was the fact that the way they had to date them, because I mean they can't just ask the shark, "Hey, how old are you?" And the normal method that they date marine animals is by, or sharks, is by counting the growth rings on their vertebrae. But this is a soft bone shark, so they don't sustain growth rings. So they actually had to take the eye lens and use carbon dating to figure it out. But another issue with carbon dating in the ocean is that there isn't as much carbon-14 in the ocean as there is in the air, so it's not as accurate. But also, they had to have some way to like be able to trace it and measure it. And apparently, the nuclear testing done back in the 50s, 60s is what provided them the ability to be able to figure out this. So when they did all the nuclear testing, a whole bunch of carbon-14 was released into the atmosphere, and then it went into the food chain, and then it ended up getting into the ocean, into the sharks. And as the sharks' eyelids grew, they took the materials in there and then grew over that. So they were able to use that lens kind of like a Wayback Machine type thing. So that, if it's true, officially makes it the largest or the longest living vertebrate animal ever discovered, and actually the second longest living animal ever discovered, which the first is a edible giant clam. I forget what the name is, but pretty interesting creatures overall too. Like apparently they're extremely slow swimmers. They stick mainly to the frigid waters of the Arctic Ocean, and no one's ever seen them attack or eat. No one knows where they give birth. No one knows how they mate. No one knows pretty much anything about them, even how many exactly there are, other than the fact that they go really slow and seem like very sedated animals. But they've also been found with like entire seals and entire fish and tuna and like really fast fish inside of their bellies, and you wouldn't think that would be a scavenger job. That would, like, if you get an entire seal, that's got to be a pretty quick animal, you would think. So pretty interesting. I like learning about weird facts like that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing
yeah.
how much we still don't know about our own planet.
The ocean is like almost undiscovered, honestly. I think it'll be cool once we start building like underwater cities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably find out a whole lot more, a whole lot quicker. But yeah, some of the trenches we haven't even really explored or anything. So Future Tech Eric says, anyone know about Apple overhauling the MacBook Pro? I did not know, but I'm wondering what that means. They don't have much they can take away from it as far as overhauling it. I don't know what else they're going to do. It's a pretty slim, streamlined system. Like, not a lot of tinkering needs to be done there, I would feel, but I guess maybe they're going to add some colors, something like that, maybe. Oh, he found one. Let's see what it looks like.
What? Oh. Sorry.
Oh no, are they going to go the PC laptop silver style? Not going to be good for them, I feel. And it has a Spotify. Oh, the top of the keyboard is a digital display. Ooh, that's kind of nice. At least that's a nice keyboard. I'd kind of like a keyboard like that. They're doing significant hardware changes in 4 years. Oh man, I watched a really funny Louis Rossman video on that. Let me see if I can find it again here. So the guy known for repairing Apple products does not use Apple products. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's usually how it goes. With a lot of products.
And in anywhere you work, probably I know a lot of people in the food industry, especially, are like,
What will be new
nope,
about this
not eating there
MacBook Pro?
again. I worked there before. I know what goes on back there.
I would still eat it a little. I used to love Little Caesars, but only because I worked there for 4.5 years and I made the pizzas myself. I brought in my own ingredients, But I would still eat there. I was just filling in Jay last night on the Taco Bell across the street. This is in High Point, Proctor, where you're at, on East Chester.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that we got these massive roaches. I mean, they were long, they were as long as my finger. And they weren't wider than as wide as you might expect them to be that big, but they were as long as my finger. And the reason why we got them is because the health inspector shut down the Taco Bell across the street, and they just immediately dozed the building. They did just like, oh, we're just renovating. They just dozed the building and started over, and all the roaches came across the street on sewers. But yeah, I don't like eating at places that worked either.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know about these things,
Yeah. The
But just FYI, Proctor, for the Taco Bell across the street.
I
know it's been 20 years or
general.
something, but just letting you know. I mean, they're probably still hanging around.
That's probably why it takes so long to get your food. They're wrestling away from the roaches.
They got to wake the roaches up so they can make it.
They're probably on the payroll.
By now, I hope they're manager. 20 years later.
Big roach wearing a hairnet.
I'm sorry.
I had a friend that worked at Golden Corral, and he even has to go as far as mentioning the issues that he dealt with if he even sees or hears about a Golden Corral. He's definitely not going to eat there, but if it even comes up in conversation or in passing, he has to mention it. It was so bad for him. So
that was always a scary place with the buffet that sits there perpetually.
Yeah, it is a scary place.
Really good yeast rolls, but I'm afraid to ask, so never mind.
Extremely good yeast rolls. I put it out of my memory because I didn't want to lose Golden Corral. Back in the day, man, Golden Corral was the bomb. You had a whole group of friends. You all ordered drinks. One person got a buffet, and you were set.
You can get away with that these days.
I
don't know.
I bet.
I don't know. I would say you can easier than you could back then because, see, and I don't know about his days, but I'm thinking to when I was a teenager, or to young adult, and I'm thinking that in those days, when someone told you to stop doing something that you weren't supposed to do, you just kind of did it. And now I just don't see that. Generally, I see people afraid to tell anyone anything, especially in public, and especially if they work a job somewhere, if they're working somewhere.
True.
So
yeah, the wait staff doesn't care. They just bring you more plates.
I don't think they're going to sell you a drink though if you're not buying a meal.
Well, take a cup reach across the counter and grab a cup. Go fill it yourself, and then get a plate.
Yeah.
It'll be fine, I bet. Just look like, and they won't mess with it.
Yeah, it is not that hard, but they're making bank over bank, so. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Had some other thing that I wanted to talk about. Let's see if I can find it here. Nope. This one? Oh yeah, this is cool. Swedish guy blows up a porta potty with dynamite. Who doesn't want to see that? I was really excited about this. It is a little pricey for what it is, but at the same time, it's really awesome for what it is. It's called Laser Dock Home Laser Show System, and it works with your Android, Windows, or Mac system, and it's a home laser show, and it runs about $200, but it projects patterns up to 13 feet in size from as far as 20 feet away. That is a pretty good deal, and the pictures of it there, or the GIF of it there, looks freaking awesome, man. I definitely want one of those. I had something else here too. It was actually something specifically for Glenn in Australia, but I can't find it here anymore. Is it on a different page, maybe? Oh, yeah, there we go. So I thought this was really cool. There's apparently a place in Australia. Let's see if they tell us where. Don't see it right off the bat here. But anyway, what they do is they make places that are fully off the grid. So off the grid caravans. They're called Wohnwagen, which stands for living wagon. And it comes with, they run about 50K, but it's pretty much everything you need for a conservative lifestyle off the grid. So you got like gardening areas. Your entire roof has soil on it, and it's even got like a system to convert your waste into fertilizer automatically. It's got solar panels. It's got all kinds of good saving stuff. So I thought that was super awesome. And if you're in Australia and you want to check out an off-the-grid place, then check that out.
The smile is for Shri.
Australia.
I'm sorry.
What?
Smile is for Shri.
No. So this isn't coming out until next year, but I thought this was awesome. It's called Lumoplay, and essentially what it does is it turns your floor into a interactive medium, so kids can interact with things on their floor. It's an interactive projector, it says. So it comes out next year, and it looked pretty awesome, I thought, especially for kids. Be cool.
Oh, that is awesome. My kids would love that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have some other stuff based on that technology for adults. Like I'm thinking, like just simple things like a twister.
Yeah.
You know how easy it would be to have a twister and it like lights up the row you're supposed to put your whatever on? That's awesome. Thought that was pretty cool. Phoenix posted a link of SDI Choco and Easy to Boot, so video there. Hey Phoenix, after that HTML question mark, you can pretty much cut that question mark and everything after there. We don't really need that part of the link. Oh, Glenn, what did you post? I'll have to see here. Yep, just like Big playing the piano. I bet you could. I am sure you could there. All right, well, we have reached our hour limit for the day, so I got one more link here just to throw out there, something interesting to learn about. The Archer's Paradox. Have any of y'all ever heard that?
I don't know, but I haven't seen Archer in a while. Don't they have a new season
I don't know.
or something?
Oh, did I just paste? No, that's not this link. So the Archer's Paradox is pretty interesting. Apparently, when you fire a bow, like a standard longbow or like what you would think of as a bow, not your professional bows, those are a little bit different. But when you fire a regular bow, when you actually fire it off, it starts off going like way opposite of where you're pointing. And then as it goes along that stretch, it ends up bending back. And then as the arrow flies, it's actually flying in like a wave form all the way until its target. And knowing how your arrows will bend makes you a better archer. Like the professional archer in there like has an entire set of arrows that he's never going to use because they don't have the right amount of tension or flex in them. I thought that was pretty cool, and yeah, it's pretty crazy that how they bend in the air like that and how it ends up working out just perfect for it. So, creating the bow was probably a really, really, like, imagine the first person to have done that, like back in the hunter-gatherer days, I'm imagining, but still, like, somebody like puts a string on their stick, bends it, and then puts another stick on there and then fires it at something. That's a lot of
revolutionary.
Yeah.
You also got to think they would have had to have made the string to put on the stick.
Yeah, even that. There are some good videos out there that show you how to make all that kind of stuff from scratch fairly easily. But yeah, just to have the concept to come up with that, and yeah, the revolutionary idea of that, like your entire family is fed, and probably your entire village can now be fed just by this simple little product here. I thought it was pretty cool. So, all right. Okay.
I was gonna say, who was better, the guy who invented it or the guy that talked to everybody? No, put your big spears down. I've got this little bitty stick that's gonna do the same thing if I just pop it out of here.
Yeah, I have no idea. So yeah, I thought it was a really interesting video there, but the older style of archery, I'm not familiar with that. I thought that was the older style of archery. Like, I thought the newer style was the compound bows, where like the arrow actually goes through the center, or it has some other stuff so that the arrow doesn't actually ever touch the bow portion. Like, if you fire straight through, which most of your toys, that's why most of your toy bow and arrows have the arrow going straight through the bow and not like you would regularly where you would put it on the side and pull back and let loose, is because that's the cheater's way to make your arrow fly straight. So anyway, we'll look more into it later. we are up for today, and thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back on Monday, Monday morning at 8 a.m. So join us then, and definitely if you have any questions about our products or services, again, that's what we're really here for. Sheree, thank you again for pointing us to that app. We're going to check it out over this weekend and make it added to our default app list. And otherwise, I say everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye, Internet.
Good weekend, everybody.
Here's a
bye.
music video.
Ooh.
Ready to take us out?
Yeah.